Hello, my name is Richard Vigorelli, and this is Vigorelli Institute. Hello, yes, I'm right there in the lower corner. A little bit different today because we're working here. Now, all of this is brought on by this little piece of paper that I did, yes, last week. Somebody got mad at me for doing it, too bad. Well, I decided we're going to do a major movement here. Yes. So, this is a religion that I'm building based on the environment and peoples of Tennessee. No, I am not worrying about any form of established religion that already exists. This is purely hypothetical, so slow your roll. Now, episode 1 here is called Foundations. This is where we're going to look at the environment. And, well, Tennessee, very interesting place. It is temperate, so that's not how you spell that. Okay, this is a temperate environment, meaning it has seasons. It's also kind of nice, but we're also near subtropical. Okay, meaning hot summers. Hot, wet summers. Okay. And we also get cold winters. Okay. So, in Fahrenheit, we usually go from, at least where I am, give or take 100 degrees Fahrenheit to it bottoms out on average, I would say 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Bit of a swing, bit of a 90-degree swing throughout the year. Okay? Now, it does not snow. No snow usually. Okay? Let's see here. However, that's not how you spell that. However, there is ice. Okay? And the ice here is nasty. Can get thick. Okay? So we definitely have a freeze and thaw cycle here in Tennessee. Okay? Now, the storms are heaviest in winter, okay, due to warm Gulf. There. If I can spell, the Gulf of Mexico. That's how you spell that, thank you. It means I'm hungry. Alright, and that warm, wet air from Gulf of Mexico meets cold, dry air from Colorado. What happens? Okay, results in severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. Been in a few warnings. My very first winter I was here, I was in 2. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay? People here, you just used to it. Okay? This bit here is extremely important because anybody living here, that's going to scare the bejesus out of them. Okay? So, we got the topography is largely flat with rolling hills. Okay, rolling hills. Mountains in the east. Mountains in the east. Okay, and a large river in the west. Smaller rivers and lakes are common. Okay. Area is very wet. Okay. Very, very important. Okay. Now, in this series, I'm going to be going into a lot more detail than I did in the previous episode. Okay. Right now, I'm just kind of saying, okay, this is what we have available. Now, I have no idea what lives here yet. Okay. The good news is, I wrote that all down. Okay. So, plants. Plants are diverse and green. Okay. We got trees, including oak. Okay, by the way, that's the North American oak, different from the European and Asian oak. So there. Okay. We got maples, poplars. Okay, excellent tree, by the way, especially if you want bugs to leave your stuff alone. Okay, we've got pine, and no, we don't have spruce because it's way too hot here. Okay, so those are pine trees that you're seeing. Okay. And a few others. Okay. Now, several grasses, yeah, and herbals. Okay. Now, yes, technically an herb is any plant that can be used medicinally. However, herbal plants are a specific kind of stuff. This is where you're getting like tulips. Okay? Okay, all of which flower and are often fragrant. Now, we do have a thing. We have things like wild onion. I actually have some growing in my lawn, and when it's out, especially late summer, very fragrant. I actually enjoy the smell. My nephew, on the other hand, tends to turn his sinuses, so poor kid. Okay? Other such plants. Okay? Alright. Some native fruiting. Trees and vegetables. Okay? I'm not going to go into detail about what those are because it's largely irrelevant. I could, but I think that's kind of wasting a lot of time, and I don't really feel like it. Okay? So, all right, now we've got aminals. Okay? Okay, we're going to go with predators first. Well, no. Okay. We'll go with insects. Okay. Insects are technically animals. I'm speaking taxonomically, so shut up. Okay. Many are biting. Okay. And stinging. Okay. Cicadas are common, with major blooms. Every, let's see, 13 to 17 years. That is going to be important, okay, in their philosophy. because it marks a specific passage of time. Okay. We'll get into kind of how they would regard that later. Okay. Spiders. Good Lord, Richard. Spiders are common and in many varieties. All arthropods are invasive. Okay. Thank you, Billy. So I've never used Word on this thing before, so. Anyway, the reason why they're invasive is they're bugs. They're looking for another place. Okay? They're always on the lookout for food. They're always on the lookout for a place to nest. Okay? I'm not going to go into the distinctions, at least right now, because for our purposes, they're just kind of there. Okay? The distinctions will come in later once we get into philosophy. Okay? All right. Now, let's see here. Amphibians. Amphibians are common, including bullfrog. If I could spell white frog. And I think there's a salamander here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I've actually found a white frog. Yeah, he was in my pool. He got his toe stuck. He didn't make it. Poor little guy. Anyway, noisy little bugger though. Good Lord. Okay. Okay, reptiles. Include turtles, lizards. Lots of lizards here, by the way. Lots of them. Okay. Snakes. All poisonous. As far as I know, anyway. And occasional alligators. Don't smile at those. Or is that a crocodile? I forget. Yeah, never smile at a crocodile. I did. He didn't seem to mind. Okay. All right. Then we got fish. Notable. A.L. Richard. Thank you. Notables are trout and cat. Okay. Now, mammals. Now, being non-predatory does not necessarily mean that they don't eat bugs. They might. Okay? Include rodents, such as squirrel. Mouse, rat, and groundhog. Yep, groundhogs are down here. They're surprisingly big. Kind of adorable, though. I don't think we got beaver, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to leave that out. Also have raccoon. Okay. And what else do we have? So I wrote all this stuff down. And possum. Yeah. I actually found a little baby possum. Cute little guy, about the size of my hand. Oh yes. You don't have to worry about them. They're not bright, but they won't hurt you. They actually do eat a lot of pests. So, yay. Also, we have bats. and brown bat. Okay, they're about, fits in my hand. I actually scooped one up to keep them from getting stepped on. I was at work one day, nasty storm had come through, and he didn't get to his roost, so he was like laying on the ground sleeping on his back. So I scooped him up. He did not like that. He thought I was going to eat him, and I took him over to the forest and set him free. So he was very upset with me. He was calling me all kinds of names. All right. Predatory mammals include bobcat, wolf. See, I'm going based on pre-Columbian species as best as I know. Coyote. Ooh, forgot one. And deer. Oh dear, deer. Okay. Mustn't forget deer. They are very important to this. Okay? Alright. We got that, we got that. I haven't done birds yet, so we'll get to them in a minute. And cougar. Okay? Which, by the way, are totally different from women. Alright, so we got birds. Okay. Include hawk, crow, sparrow, robin. What else we got? I wrote them all down. Cardinal. And thrush. Okay, those are kind of the biggies. Okay, all of this is extremely important because it frames in the environment where the religion will take place. Okay, so humans walk in for the first time. Humans first arrive. No real feeling structure. And they semi-settle. Semi-settle, remain semi-nomadic. Okay. Usually following migration and plant food. Okay. By the way, I'm linking berries and all of that in with fruit and veg. Okay, so all right. Okay, now somebody okay, at some point someone figures out that if certain plants are left alone in a given area, that they return next year. And if the edible seeds are put in the ground, fertilizer, then they grow make another plant with more food. Okay. This, by the way, is level 1 agriculture. Stop that. Fine, I'll make you happy, alright? Shivas. Okay. So, at about the same time, someone also realizes that they can train animals to do things. Okay. Now, in European history and Asian history, we domesticated the wolf. Okay. We bred it down, made it cute, made it sweet, made it nice, and we created the dog. Okay? And they are domesticated. Eventually become dogs. Okay? This will take some time. Okay. We're going to say probably about 100,000 BCE. Okay. Ish. Okay. This probably won't happen till about 2210K BCE. Give or take about the same time that people in Middle East, Europe, Asia, even Africa came to about the same realization with some stuff. Okay, this is the start of true civilization. Okay, you can't have anything without agriculture. Okay, but you also need stuff to carry with. Okay, now hunter-gatherer societies, you know, they did figure out weapons. They figured out satchels. Okay, and buckets and all of that stuff. And by bucket, I mean like this thing. Okay, you know, minus the handle. Okay, so it's a cup and you put stuff in it and you can drink out of it. You can hold food in it and all of that. You know, you've got other stuff that's even bigger, which I don't have with me here. Okay, pottery. Okay, so and we got that. Now one of the major points here. Okay. Additionally, they realize that certain animals that are food can be penned up and bred for better meat. Okay? See, what we call a cow, okay, used to be a thing called an aurochs. Okay? The aurochs is now extinct. The closest thing we have to it is the Texas Longhorn. Okay? This thing was mean. It was violent. Was all over Eurasia. Its cousin, the buffalo, kind of similar in temperament, but this one was a little bit more aggressive than a buffalo. And it used to beat our ancestors up until somebody figured out, I'm going to make it mine. And they did. Now we have cows and no aurochs. Interesting. Okay? Okay. Now, this is the deer. Okay. Okay. Deer. Okay. Now, in our time, but domestication is hard, but once successful, it becomes, I'm going to have to come up with a name. Okay? So wolves become dogs, aurochs becomes cow. Okay? It's not a deer anymore. It's not, definitely not an elk. Okay? Vadoon. Original word, don't steal. Okay. So this is technically a pre-religious society. They probably have a few superstitions, you know, like, hey, when you see that thing, leave it alone and stuff like that, but there's nothing really built. Okay. That is going to come in a little bit. Okay. Now, give or take about this time. Okay. First pieces of religion start. Okay. Here is why. Okay. You have to have all of this stuff in play in order to have a religion. Here's why. You need downtime in order to come up with stuff. Okay? If you're wandering around the bush all day looking at plants, you have to be quiet and hunt down the animal. You're worried about, hey, is it going to rain soon? Do I have shelter? We need to get out of here in a week, otherwise we're going to die of frostbite. Okay? And so forth. You don't have time to come up with any kind of religion. You don't have the energy to do it. Okay? I don't know if any of you have ever had to come up with something like, say, for school, and you had a really long week at work. Yeah, your brain's not working, especially if you got to come up with this thing from scratch. You have no prompt. This is a one-of-a-kind thing. Nobody has ever thought of this. You can't do it. You don't have the time. Okay? So, that is where we're going to leave off here. Okay? So, I will go ahead and put down a save. And next time, we'll jump in with episode 2 being the early form of religion. And we're going to go into animism. Okay? That'll be next time around. Like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out links in the description for my website, Vim and Vigorelli. Got a bunch of stuff on there you might be interested in. And go ahead and check me out on Twitter. I say things smart on occasion. And also live streams whenever I have the day off from work. Okay? All right. So, you guys take care.